A 16-13 showing in which Ghost had absolutely no shot of getting into this one from the looks of it. A lot of weird, different dynamics we could talk about within the train yards themselves. But of course, I'm here with my analytical crew on the Xfinity analyst desk to kind of make some sense of that stomping, thrashing. What are the verbs we got for something like that?
Demolishing, tombing.
Tombing?
Yeah. When you put people into the grave.
Okay. What do you got?
Beating.
Oh, wow.
Wow, guys. All right, so let's not venture out too far. Let's talk a little bit about the Ghost side of things. Now, we built up Wardell pretty heavily before this matchup, but as it turns out, he was not really a contributing factor. And we all three knows. Oh, my God, the English is just escaping me at this moment. It is
It's tough. You've been too long in France.
language.
I think that's the issue.
We know what happens when Wardell doesn't show up.
Yeah.
Ghost the
doesn't show
entire
up.
team of Ghost not showing up. And then on the other hand, Luminosity playing well. It's hard to cook too much in a match like this. You know, when it ends 16-3, it's sort of like the bottom line, the conclusion is Ghost not showing up at all. Luminosity obviously playing well, otherwise they wouldn't win that big. If you have to take away something from that, there was PKL, you know, sitting on 17 and 0 frags. I don't think I've ever seen that before in a Pro League game. That was absolutely insane. And it kind of testifies to how well he's playing, obviously, but also how bad Ghosts are. You know, if you can't kill one guy, then you're going to have a big problem even getting the rounds
I
going.
think at that point, it was something like VSA had something around like 9 frags, or maybe it was Seb at that point who had like 9 frags, and the rest of them were sitting at 2 to 3 at the very most. And that was like 9+ rounds into it or something.
It would appear that you guys want to talk a little bit of numbers, and it would just so happen to be that we do have some scores loaded up here. Of course, the numbers for Train, which was a 16-3 thrashing there by Luminosity. PKL, or Pickle for short, as I like to say, coming out real strong in that one, boasting 124 point ADR. My goodness.
I don't think I've ever seen that many players with below 50 ADR, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone have 21.4.
21 is pretty rough one.
It's
One
not
of the
great.
lowest ADRs ever, and that's Wardell, you know, the star of the team, the guy we hyped up, the guy we talked about, and the guy who has been by far the best player for Ghost throughout this season. It's okay to have an off game, but only posting up 21 ADR against Luminosity, that's
like
not
a
Cloud9 level. That's not how you get an offer, dude.
It's like a fluke grenade every round could manage to scrape together that damage. It's pretty unreal. And I guess I can't exactly remember the amount of times he had an AWP in his hand, but it definitely wasn't a whole lot, like maximum 2 or something. Because eventually they got into the I guess situation where they felt like they had to force buy every single round to close out the half to try to get some rounds on the board, and obviously that doesn't do you any help. But yeah, no, if you get off to that bad of a start, I guess Wardell doesn't feel too comfortable. We've seen, I guess, not as bad of a performance from him earlier in the season, but something leaning towards the same kind of performance where he's just like not having an impact at all, and it's oftentimes due to him not being able to get his hands on the AWP. Whether that's, you know, an issue that the team as a whole has, and, you know, if they actually, it's a group decision to actually go for these buys and that kind of stuff that keeps him off the AWP for the better part of the game. That's something we can only speculate in, but
it shouldn't be that much. I mean,
it's like
without him having the AWP,
exactly.
It should never be that bad.
Oh,
that
no,
is
for sure.
ridiculous. But we can move forward. We can say, hey, you know what? All things aside, they just started a little bit slow. That's all it was.
Warm-up map.
Yeah, and then the second one now is Cbble. The last and, of course, the final map of the evening. And that would be Ghost and Luminosity squaring off. Is it going to be close to the same?
Now that's another problem with this whole matchup. You know, how do you allow Luminosity to play both Train and Cbble? Like,
yeah, that is
only
actually pretty
two maps
impressive.
They can play throughout the entire EPL season. We saw in the beginning in the pre-match how many split maps they have, and the majority of those were they win Cobblestone, they win Train, and then they lose the opponent's map pick, which could be anything. Now in this case, they get both their own map picks, you know, and there's nothing that tells me it wouldn't be a 2-0 after what you just saw now on Train. If anything, I think Luminosity are better on Cobblestone that they actually are on Train. So Ghost don't, like, they have to step up big time if they want to have just a decent chance of making double digits.
Big time.
Yeah,
Big time.
I think the only I don't think they're gonna even be close to winning Ghosts, honestly, on Cbble. But I do think because of the how dominant a T side can be on that map, I think they're gonna have a couple of more rounds. Not that it obviously requires a whole lot to get more rounds than what they did in the last match, but I think they should fare better in that sense. But it's still going to be very one-sided in favor of Luminosity.
I think it's very simply put that we praised up, we talked up Wardell being a cornerstone, a keystone of this team. And if he's not going to show up, then for all intents and purposes, this is going to go the same way.
Most likely. We also talked about Cbble being one of the players who has stepped up his game a little bit. And again, like, we can talk about all of them. Nobody showed anything on train, and they didn't really have any chance of doing so, only getting those 3 rounds. You know, it's not a big window of opportunity to show your true skill level. The problem is, for them, you know, there's just too many players not showing up. There's too many dead guys in that team right now in order to compete with PKL, you know, posting 124 ADR. He's not even the best player on that team. That's Yell, without a doubt. Steel as well, you know, coming in with tons of experience and as you said as well, great individual player. Like he's often forgotten about, you know, considering how he was in Immortals. There was a team that played towards the individuals when he was playing with Henny, Lucas, and those guys in Immortals. He was one of the guys also posting up great numbers, despite him being the in-game leader. So when he's free of that charge, or anyway, if he is in-game leading right now, we don't know that actually, but he can still post up big numbers, and he wasn't even needed to. So there's so many strings to play off. Showtime on Cobblestone, we praised him a lot for being probably like one of his favorite map to play is Cobblestone.
He has to be a Cobblestone specialist. I can't understand it.
So, like, because he elevates his plays every single time he plays Cobblestone. That simple. So there's just so many strings they have to figure out how to handle, and I don't see Ghost having any of the tools necessary to do that. T-side Cobblestone, arguably, it is easier, but it's going to be too much for them this time around.
Strings, circuitry, just the inner workings there. Seemingly running quite fast on the Luminosity side, but even faster on an Intel i7. My goodness, can you believe that is where we are going? Check it out. Intel powering the ESL Pro League. I have an i7. Both these guys definitely have i7s, I assume.
I do.
I
stream on an i7, and it works perfectly fine, Trace.
I could have streamed on an i7, but I choose
not
not to
so nobody
because,
want to watch you.
I mean, people watch you teach tips and tricks, which is predominantly just dying multiple times.
That's content.
I mean,
content.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, content-driven stream.
Listen, I got your back.
Yeah, let Trey do his work, please. Shut up.
I'm enjoying this. I think we've reached the witching hour of the broadcast as well, where nothing good is going to come out of this, but perhaps we'll get lucky, and perhaps Ghost Gaming can put just a few more numbers on the board. We are waiting on VSA to join the server and our fellow commentary duo to join us here in the studio.
See, we got one of them over there now.
Esports Arena. Yeah, he did show up, and he's not on camera, therefore he doesn't exist yet. So let's take a gander here at what could be, and you know, a much better showing for Ghost, maybe.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking we're going to see a better showing. Again, like we said, for the better for that game, that just nobody on Ghost were able to kill people. And like as shown by PKL, who had 17-0 at one point in the game. So I think it's going to be a monumentous task to do worse, if I can put it that way.
That was a nice way to put it.
Yeah.
I agree. I do believe Ghosts have no opportunity whatsoever to win this one, but if they get a good start on the T side, then that would be great for them. It is one of those map Cobblestone, we talk about it often, you know, if you get the good start on the T side, if you have to control the pace and if you get to put pressure on the Luminosity guys, then there is a chance. The problem is we've seen LG play Cobblestone so many times, and the CT side is actually quite dominant. It's quite formidable, and it's quite compact and controlled in that sense. So I don't see how Ghost is going to mess with that at all, especially now they have Steel on the team as well, a great CT player, a great defensive player, and overall, LG are just better.
Well, compact and controlled. That's how they're doing things on the right side of the desk. Very, very controlled, I think, is one way to put it. For the commentary duo, Jason, how you feeling, man? You looking?
What fresh hell is this? Nothing's ever easy. Another Cobblestone. It's your fault.
I mean, I love Cobblestone. I get as many in as we can before it's gone forever.
Exactly. This is the problem we have here, Harry.
I like it, Jason, because I don't think any other event is doing this right now. It still has Cobblestone in, so it's like a chance just to.
It's been one day.
Really
let's not act like it's been like a month.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, that is true. But yeah, for me to break this one down, I've been thinking about it, and yeah, I think Luminosity are going to win. Luminosity kind of rhymes with like velocity, you know, think speed. Ghost rhymes with toast, which is probably the worst part of breakfast.
There's so many things ridiculous about that statement. I can't even begin to break that one down. Toast is not the worst part of breakfast.
What is then?
Does there have to be a bad part of breakfast?
I mean, like, without getting too dooming, there's the worst part of everything, you know? Oh, look at this. Worst part of this round for Ghost is it's Cbble. He's already dead, and he tried to go aggressive over towards the platform. But he pays for it with his life, and that's pretty devastating. Now, Luminosity, they can afford to slow right down at this point in time. You know, they're coming off the back of a monstrous win. Truly monstrous. So they know that they're in the driver's seat. They're looking pretty. They've got a smoke on steel, 2 flashes. And Visa, what are you doing to me? He's walking down long. This isn't a casual stroll. Him and Wardell embarking on together. This is a perilous journey. And oh no, they've opened the floodgates. In come Luminosity. Now Visa only manages 1. He's going to go down as well. Suddenly, Stanley, he's preoccupied with trying to take out Yell. This has worked perfectly for Luminosity. Now Seb. Okay, he's managed 1.
This is like a masterclass from Luminosity in how to fight as a team. It was almost like they lured them into that trap in that long B corridor where they just say, as soon as someone pushes, we all 4 are going to swing out and just take every single fight. Really, really well done from Luminosity as they take the opening pistol from this T side of Cbble. Continuing right where they left off.
Yeah, winning. So Jason, just in honor of Cobblestone dying, as part of the, what's that thing that you write when someone dies?
Eulogy?
Eulogy, that's the one. I don't even know what I just said. But yeah, what would be, you know, like...
Listen, Harry, if you're going to ask me to come up with a eulogy, I'm just going to tell you it's far too early in the morning.
Okay, no, but like, what's your least favorite part of Cobblestone?
It's just not, it's not a fun map. There's, you know, you don't have to actually gain map control on T side, so there's no real fighting until you're at the bomb sites. I think it's too difficult. There's no ways to be creative on the CT side, so it just turns into this boring, stale contest. Yeah, you know what, I thought about it more and more, and I do think you're right there. You know, I think about the Cobblestone defaults and how it works, and it just isn't very fun as a map. It looks nice. That was kind of one of my big reasons for liking it. It's very, very pretty. But sometimes, you know, looks just aren't enough. You need some substance behind you. I think that's what Pimp has had to learn already. Bloody hell. All right, then. Now we're getting personal, Harry. We'll move along swiftly, because I know the volume is working in the other room where they are sitting and watching the game. 2-0. As Ghost is going to have to sit this one out. Wardell saved up some money for an AWP in the next round. We're going to get a small nade stack on Subrosa and Visa, but with the nades that we have in this game, those aren't going to do a whole lot, especially if they're brought over towards this B bomb site. Seb is going to call this out, though. Oh, the Zeus brings PKL down to 9 HP, and they're going to circumvent pretty much everyone while getting caught in the windowsill. Smoke down in the crosshair. Showtime waiting. Doesn't want to lose the AK-47, and the bomb's going to get planted over towards A. It's going to be a nice and easy round for LG.
Yeah, no, this is looking good. Looking like they're going to lock this one in pretty cleanly. PKL's hanging around. He's on 9 HP. He's looking to try and make some money with that MAC-10 as he waits down beneath the window. Now these Zeuses, they just betrayed Ghost moments ago, and this time is no different story. Stanley doesn't get anything done with his. Has the Zeus always, like, just not been a one-hit kill, or was that something that was modified? Because I like, have never, up until recently, it feels like I'd never tagged someone for, like, 80 with the Zeus, or, like, 90, or 94, or whatever it is. What else doing damage at the end? Okay, now that actually becomes a pretty big deal now. 3 big kills right at the end of the round. Important confidence booster for the man who had the lowest ADR, I think, on the Pro League record this season, at 24 in the last map.
Oh, really? Yeah, that could be a record. That sounds like it'd be a record.
Yeah.
Not a great one at that.
No, it's certainly not one that you'd like lead into your like CV with.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's not going to be at the pitch to join a new team, will it? Well, 3-0, guns are out for the Ghost Gaming side. Op is in Wardell's hands. They have 1 kid on Subrosa, and it will be interesting to see how Luminosity decide to open this up, and I have to imagine they're going to be supremely confident. There's actually only 1 player defending against that play from Showtime. Fortunately for them, he gets destroyed, and Wardell's been spotted. The shot's faded out, and PKL just decapitates Wardell. Continues his stellar performance from the previous map.
And actually, I was just thinking about awards that you wouldn't lead your CV with. When I was in school, I won an award for least likely to become a farmer. That was the title of it.
What the hell school did you go to? Who has that as an award?
Well, I don't know. It was
Listen,
like
the whole picture that is you is now coming together in full. I'm starting to see the pieces.
No, well, because here's the thing, right? Like, it was meant to be like a great bit of banter, right? Like, it was like, oh, you know, end of year. Here's some hilarious awards. Least likely to be a farmer. Okay.
Yeah, we had those. We call them mock awards.
Well, yeah, but it's like, where do I go with that? Like, you haven't helped me. I don't want to be a farmer anyway. Could you imagine me farming, Jason? Do I have the farmer?
No, you're a ginger. You'd burn.
I would, exactly. Yeah. I'm just not suited to it. It just doesn't work. Plus, you know, the thought of like exerting myself too much, that just, I couldn't. You know, farmers are so hard working. I actually know a lot of farmers, and I couldn't do it. But you know who right now I think could farm something? Luminosity. They could farm some round wins, some money. They could farm a lot of stuff. Frags, everything.
Yeah, this is certainly a chance for them to blow up this lead quite big, which would be phenomenal for them. Obviously, it's going to start to get more and more dicey as the money builds up. Once Ghost Gaming in the 6th round has the full losing bonus, they can get all the ops, the kits, the utility. That's when it'll get a bit more difficult for the Brazilians. But for now, it's not the smoothest of sailing, as they do have armor and CZs to go up against. We'll see how they fare. This is a slower paced round, as they're looking for any kind of aggression, any kind of pushes from the CT side. Steel looks like he wants to at least probe in towards drop zone. Trying to bait out a reaction, and it's just not coming. And actually now, Visa and Seb, they could go for the reverse boost, but actually PKL did destroy that in the previous round, so might hold off. And just like clockwork, slowly progressing across the map. 50 seconds left. And PKL's already made his way into the B bomb site. This one's actually going to be easy. Just the presence across the map from Luminosity yields them results.
Here's a fun fact for you, Jason. This is actually a very, very big game, because if Luminosity win this, they move above SK in the standings into that playoff region, thus knocking SK down and outside of the playoff spot for the time being, at least.
That'd be so interesting, wouldn't it? That'd be weird. It's actually kind of weird being in an era of Counter-Strike in which SK is not like one of the dominant forces in the world. Watching them go out at the group stage at Marseille was a surreal feeling.
Most definitely. Yeah, it's weird, right? Because so often does this happen, yet we're always so shocked whenever we see it, right? Like there was a time where, you know, like it was VP were like revered as these people who, you know, you could never count out, and now it's like, you know, they're an MDL, they're you know, not really showing up at any of these big LAN events. But anyway, here's the push in towards B. PKL's on the entry, and he's going to actually double down. How on earth does he stay alive there? I will never know. Now, Stanley's doing his best to pull this back, and oh, his best is very, very good. 4 kills. What is that, Stanley? That is phenomenal stuff from him. It leaves it all onto Steel. And Steel's going to fall. Visa finishes him off. Just like that, Ghost. They managed to get themselves their first round. What a step up from Manly Stanley here.
That's huge. I mean, shout out to Seb as well, who gets 3 assists. He throws a great piece of utility. I believe it was an 8. It might have been some M4 damage as well that we just didn't see. But yeah, certainly Stanley still had his work cut out for him. The tough part is 3 players lost, so a chance of being reset. They cannot breathe easy now. They've got to be very, very careful how they approach this round, because they're going to need a clean win. And this time, Luminosity looks very heavy-handed towards this A bomb site. Wardell is aggressive out towards long A. That's a good opening kill from Visa, but they're going to try and chase him down, and they're going to be successful with it. One more player to find out at long, and actually, if they find their way up that mid-ramp and drive a wedge between this defense, Wardell's opened up the flank, which is good. That means the rest of his teammates rotating from the B bomb site can be far more patient. Bomb going down now, and they're setting up in a couple different crossfires, but the retake is already on. Wardell at the top of the ramp, Trying to come through these choke points, not having success yet. One in the bomb site, one is wrapping around the ramp, and the longer this retake takes, the more deadly that will be. Good kill from Showtime, but can't convert. It's Nekaz inside the bomb site, 1 versus 2. Flash out in the air. One player going to be blind. He hasn't hit the headshot, and he's going to get cleaned out. Nice job by Ghost.
Yeah, this is their second round on the board. And, you know, in all honesty, this is actually very, very good from Ghost in comparison to what we've seen thus far. I mean, when you kind of take into account what they lost the previous match, 16-3, I think it was. So, you know, they're almost kind of outdoing themselves already. And perhaps the most important thing here is they haven't allowed Luminosity to build up this massive bank. That was the real issue over on Train, was that Ghost never had any money. And,
still don't have much, do they?
No, that's very true. But then Luminosity, if you look over at theirs, they had mountains of cash, and those have been eroded down. So, yeah, out through mid, going to be leading the charge. That's Wardell to worry about at the long angle. Visa's watching as well from at double doors. And Luminosity, it's clear that they're not feeling as confident as they did on Train. This is a much slower approach. There's not aggression. There's not them just winning these crazy duels early on. Much more measured from either team right now, it feels like.
Well, you know, starting a new map tends to refresh the amount of hope you have if you're Ghost Gaming. They certainly ran out of it on Train. That's a interesting fight for Wardell to take. He's going to lose his life, and his teammates now going to have some pressure put on them. Stanley in drop zone is all alone. Sub Rosa pushing forward is all alone, and they're going to get caught. PKL just waiting for that response. Now Steel as well coming out. He's going to make this easy for PKL, who's just got to mop up a low HP player, and it's quickly just down to Visa, and Ghost again in this round has just been read like a book. And picked apart. All Visa can do is try and save the AK-47 because Ghost is going to be out of money. They're going to have 3 players who essentially need a double save. This AK could go a long way, and I imagine that Luminosity is going to hunt this down.
And Alviso has kind of been afforded something here in the sense that Nekaz is here alone. PKL was with him. But Nekaz checks the angle, and that's going to be a 6th round solidified for Luminosity. No player surviving for Ghost. Kind of means they're at a pretty grim crossroads now in this game where they're going to force buy into this round. And this is a force it doesn't really feel like they have to take. When you look over at Luminosity's economy, it's not great, but it's, you know, it's not going to be broken if they lose this round, right? Maybe it feels a bit early on in the half to go for a force buy this risky, when they would have had a buy into the next round. I think maybe Wardell would have had to have double eco, but the rest of the guys could have had rifles. So a risky purchase indeed. And okay, they might make me eat my words. Stanley and Visa over at long. They'd be mopping up players left and right now. Wardell over on the platform, going to go toe-to-toe with PKL. There is a man rotating in. How many shots does PKL want to take? He really is a mortal at this point. Finally finished off by Wardell. And the second as well. Lovely stuff. He's warming up a bit. He feels like he's finally in the server.
I think Wardell actually hit him twice through the wall, so he could never complete the kill, but yeah. Interesting to see Ghost actually win that round of all of them with the CZs, with the pistol and the scout. So well done, and Luminosity gonna have to fight again to get the advantage. Still a lot of money having to be invested in this round. So Wardell's at 0, still doesn't have the op. It's actually Yell who has an AWP and could catch a player out here towards long A. It's Visa who's going to be here, and if they could just flush him back into the waiting arms, I don't know if he expects this. He's still sticking around, and at this point, it almost feels like he's trapped. Smoke going to go down in towards the staircase. He's going to be forced away. There is a smoke there, but a boost over the top. They spotted out 2 dinks. No kills, but that's great damage done. They might even be forced away. What a victory for Visa in an unlikely scenario. Molotov going to force him back, and no one's actually waiting for that. Yell is. Finds the frag. 5 on 4, but a couple players bleeding internally as they move up long, just past the minute mark.
Nice stuff from Seb to go out and find one. Surely no more. And there we go. Yell's going to be able to snuff him out. Perhaps getting a little bit too confident there. Seb could have just fallen back in that 4-on-4. And Stanley now going to go aggressive in through long. He's quite fortunate that PKL isn't there and isn't ready to find that kill. Steel's going to be able to trade. 3-on-2. Now it is just Wardell and Cbble left. They haven't exactly played this CT side very conventionally in this round. And now it's Wardell. 13 seconds. If he finds he's just going to hide away. He hides away at the back of the site. He could do it all. That's the bomb dropped. Wardell's going to duck away. 5 seconds on the clock. They have to get the kill, and he's made it round the corner. He's won the round. Wardell's done it. He runs for the hills as he locks in a 4th round for Ghost. That was a lovely, lovely clutch to win. 1v3. And while he doesn't get all the kills, he plays it smart, plays it safe. And he's going to leave Luminosity kind of regretting the decisions they made in that round.
Ghost is kind of getting away with a few here and there in this half. This could very easily be another dominant start for Luminosity if you think back, winning a Force Buy. That round right there could be a big swing in Luminosity's favor. Similar to looking back on Train, but at the moment at least, they've given themselves some chances and actually aggression and towards drop. When does Seb choose to go? PKL's not expecting this whatsoever, so it's all down to timing. And if he falls, that's going to force the attack over towards that A bomb site to be that much faster, as they won't have presence on this side of the map, and Ghost would be able to rotate into position. So we'll see. Wardell, the lone defender at the base of the ramp. It's going to be Steel's job to clean him out. Wardell's looking for this, just looks away now. There's the frag from Steel. Good trades all across the map, and Visa still alive until just now. Steel pouncing perfectly. Now he's got to go back and watch the flank. That flashbang a little bit mistimed. He can't possibly know it, but he wants to hunt down Seb. He wants to be aggressive on this choke point as the nade comes in, and he's not able to find that. Brilliantly done from Seb.
Peek out from Yell. That's the first. Neck is going to be able to drop Stanley. Now it's Seb with this AK 1v2. He scavenged it from mid, but Yell is very, very fast. And Luminosity, they're straight back into this with a 7th. Now a 7-4. Ghost. Once again, the money has run dry. They're going to go for the Force Buy by the looks of things. Cbble is going to have himself a UMP. Wardell with the scout. Now we saw this Force have success for Ghost just a few rounds ago. 4 players stacked in this B bomb set. They try to assemble the boost, but oh no, the flash is perfect. Stanley's going to kill his teammate. It's our confusion down and drop. And Cbble comes in and mops up 2. That is massive. The bomb gets dropped, and suddenly it's just Yell 1v3. This is a very awful situation to be in for him. Because now these players that only had pistols, only had SMGs coming into this round, they've scavenged rifles, they've picked up the arsenal that Luminosity afforded to them.
Whenever Luminosity has a chance of gaining control of the economy and gaining control of the half, essentially, they really just get sloppy. Like, I don't know why they're attacking drop so fast. And without really being all that cautious about it. Ooh, that would have been a great pick to find. That would have made this so much more possible. Now he's got to go back to the AK-47. Another Molotov thrown out, flashbang as well. No, he didn't see that player. And he's going to be exposed as Cbble swings out wide and takes his head clean off. So another gift for Ghost. That's now 2 ecos that they've won. Or 2 Force Buys, however you want to call it.
I mean, now it's Luminosity's turn to Force Buy. They've got 2 Deegs, 2 CZs, and a Galil on Showtime. Neck is keeping an eye on mid, where Cbble currently lies in wait. Neckers would love to find this opening kill. That'll be a rifle picked up, and Cbble edging forward all on his own. Nice shot on a Showtime. Try and complete the on a Neckers as well. He's not able to find it just yet. Now they're going to flash out Yell. Out from platform, he's very, very quick into this B bomb site, but he's going to lose the duel with Stanley. Ghost are definitely in this map, rather. Seb's been boosted up. He hears the players falling back. They have all the information they need. They start to rotate players back towards the A bomb site. And now for Seb. Just becomes keep an eye on the flank. He has Stanley there with him. And they're just going to keep edging forward. Luminosity, they're over at long. Ghost have all the information in the world. They know exactly what's going on. Smokes and flashes getting lined up now by Luminosity. And they are be walking into the 3-man hold from Ghost. This flank has been pivotal in this round from Ghost. This is just farming up the remaining players. PKL not able to find anything there. 6-7. Ghost Gaming making this game a close one.
Yeah, it was a good start for Luminosity. They just dropped too many rounds they shouldn't have. If you think back, like I mentioned, a couple of those rounds like the CZs, but that 1 versus 3 was a real dagger. And it allows Ghost to build up enough money to sustain some losses and start to feel comfortable and confident to take some risks to be the aggressors. And this is kind of the product of that 6-7. Much more convincing, obviously, than Train was for Ghost. And Luminosity is going to be stuck saving for that final round of this half. No armor, couple upgraded pistols, no utility, and eating grenades at a long range. UMP right behind the smoke. This could be a disaster. Stanley could get some free kills, but actually he gets none. It's Subrosa who's going to be the benefactor. Seb here for the cleanup as well. Gale's going to be the last to die, and it's all tied up.
And I mean, yeah, just to paint the picture, this was a Ghost that had just lost to Luminosity over on Train 16-3. Now all tied up on the CT side of Cobblestone, with the T side still to come. The potential for them to win out the half here. When you look at the buy from Luminosity, it's not that great. 5 rifles. They have got a decent sprinkling utility to accompany it. But Ghost definitely have the better buy in this scenario. Utility, they're going to be able to hold off any early aggression from Luminosity. Visa, he opens up. Frag on a Neckers, who gets caught out down in mid. Nothing in the means of a trade to come through from Showtime, who hangs around over in middle. The rest of Luminosity instead lining up the smokes and flashes into this B-bomb site. They're going to go down over onto platform. Luminosity, they've definitely hit that wall. They've definitely not been able to recover, kind of staggered back from the few rounds that Ghost have stolen away from them.
Yeah, they've really been stalled out in this round as well. All that's left is the hit towards this bomb site. Coming down drop, and Seb is at such a painful location. This is going to be so difficult to clear out. All he's got to do is manage which direction he's looking, with Wardell hitting that shot. Gives him relative safety. There's Subrosa for the transfer over. Can't find the final kill, but Showtime is brought so low. It shouldn't be too hard for his teammates, although I say that. Visa is down to 16, so he's going to be a quick kill. There it is, 1-on-1, and now it's all down to luck at a certain degree, and one little headshot will end it all. So Showtime having the footsteps, but can't connect the shots. Had about 6 chances there. Or 6 bullets with which to connect. So it's going to be 8-7. It's actually going to be a lead for Ghost Gaming going into the second half.
And if you'd have told me after a 16-3 thrashing on Train that Ghost would come back to win out the first half here on Cobble, I would have said you're ridiculous. You're lying. And that's exactly what's happened. Stanley, he's someone who's had a fantastic performance on Cobble. Always love it whenever the UK players start to have a good showing. I tell you what, actually, Jason, now probably not the best time to talk about it, but
okay.
Have you seen Big picked up Smooya?
I did see that, yes.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because they're playing at the major, right? So I think that's the first UK player to play at the major, or potentially.
Yeah, I think they have to go through the qualifier again. I think they have a direct invite to the qualifier, though. I could be wrong.
Still, though, I mean, that's the furthest anyone from the UK's really got. in some time.
Henry's cast at a final.
Yeah, that's true.
Just saying. Can always rely on that one.
Can always rely on Henry to give the UK some accolades.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, maybe you can rely on Stanley to do the same. The accolade of going 1-for-1 versus Luminosity. So they want to try and do that now. They forced Yell back from long. And he's in quite a bit of danger. He's able to get out of there. Thankfully, no one wrapping up through mid. That one, me and MM, can guarantee you now, that'd be 3 players down in middle. And 3 at long. And I just wonder what the hell's happened. But Yell manages to get away with it. And so now Ghost wrapping back. They've gone ahead and left A. Gonna set up outside this B-bomb site. PKL and Neck is the only 2 players here. We're still starting a rotation round now. He's going to be a little bit caught out of position potentially if the hit comes in. Nah, he's got time. He's got in there. He just sits pretty, and Cbble opens up. Heavy damage out of PKL. Neck is... Does he stick around? And they're going to go to duck through connector up towards A. Showtime pressure's on. This is it. It's now or never for Showtime as he has them in his grasp. He holds it close, but he's been found by Neckers. Not by Neckers, rather. By Seb. Now it's going to answer back. Bomb goes down. Wardell and Visa left to try and clutch this out. 2 versus 2. PKL and Neckers on the retake, and they're already out from balcony. Visa falls. It's all onto Wardell. 1v1. Had a very, very quiet game over on Train. Now he's been a driving force once again for Ghost. Can he win the clutch? Oh, Wardell, he's got 5 HP. How on earth has he survived that?
I don't know if he has bullets, does he? No, he doesn't have any bullets. That's why he's running away. He does pick up the USP, but that's going to be it. He's going to lose the pistol because of it. He had to find a new gun. Not able to make it work, and Luminosity are given a gift to start this half. That is perhaps a little bit of karma coming back to help them out based off some of the losses they took in the first half, but that's a nightmare scenario for Wardell. Really unfortunate. A solid round up until that point. And we're all tied up again, 8-8. AK-47 on Seb, though. They're going to go for a bit of a risky purchase, or tactical purchase, see if they can do some damage. And actually investment from everyone around this AK-47, so we'll have to see if Ghost... If Seb can provide an opening, there's Deagles, there's CZ, there's utility with which Ghost can use to get into a bomb site.
I mean, Ghost, they've been so proficient on these force buys, right? I mean, we saw it constantly throughout the first half of this map during their CT side that they're able to win these out. So you can't count out this round just yet. Cbble doesn't drop. And while he masks his drop, I don't think the man with him, Seb, did. And look at this from Yell. There you go. That's all the information you need. He's out through long. Now he's on the flank. Stanley's meant to be keeping an eye on it. Yell does make a little too much noise. I think Stanley's aware that someone is coming around. So Yell's about to go walking into his crosshair. And if they find this kill, suddenly that A bomb site gets cracked wide open. They're going to go and send Cbble in through connector to hold off these rotations. And well, he is going to fall at the first hurdle. Seb's still here with that one catalyst rifle that Ghost are able to invest in. And he's buying precious time. Finally going to deal with. Showtime now emerges from the smoke. USP out, trying to fight for his life, and he's able to stay alive. Wardell and Visa once again trying to clutch this out. Same duo from the pistol round. Wardell this time with a UMP and 3 players. That is a cracking shot from PKL. He doubles down. 3 kills for him in total. And Luminosity, they will be able to convert it. They win themselves a 9th. And now Ghost, they finally just have to bite the bullet and go for an eco.
That was a 6 shot from PKL. Much needed as well. You could see Showtime was pinned down, so good recovery. Plant's going to help Ghost, though. That investment doesn't get them all the places they wanted to go quite yet. They're going to buy up again. That extra $800 helping out in a big way. So keeping the pressure on. MAC-10 is out. A couple upgraded pistols and 2 AK-47s. Trying to catch Luminosity perhaps off guard. Thinking maybe the worst is over. They got plenty of utility, Luminosity, to slow down any kind of a fast-paced play with Molotovs, and then they can bring plenty of nades and smokes into the mid and late round, and 3 kits as well on board. Means they'll have a fast defuse. We'll see what Ghost brings at him.
Cbble creeping forward. Looks to be the first man in from this position. Stanley going to go down. Cbble given an opportunity to trade it back, but he does miss his shot, and that's the one shot he's given. Now I'm going to burn out Seb. Steele's able to duck away into the cubby. He goes. Cbble finds him, though. Now 3-on-3. PKL desperate to try and snuff out any resistance from Ghost in this round. He's able to tag up Wardell, but doesn't complete the kill. And now suddenly 2-on-2. Once again, it's come down to the wire. Utility tags down Visa quite heavily. He's only got the P250 to work with. A lot of this now falls to Wardell to try and find these kills. Visa gets one, and now it's showtime versus Visa. He's going to go creeping out, and Visa does it with the P250. 9-9, all tied up. Ghost, they managed to take a round straight back. And the 4 spies prevail once again.
Yeah, they've done it. They kept so much pressure on Luminosity that that the economy pretty much shatters here. Gonna be an M4, a Scout, 3 CZs as well from Luminosity, but not a whole lot to fight with. Only 2 players with any real utility to speak of, no kits. So Ghost are able to do it. Stanley's going to lead the way with a Mac 10. He might be surprised if he encounters anyone that they're not in a full save. I say might be. Possibly not. As the buying habits of these teams has always been to invest. But it's pretty much quiet. Passive across the map from both teams, just set up and waiting for which one's going to make the first move, and neither of them ready to do it just yet as we approach the 1-minute mark. Actually, as I say that, it's Yell who's going to find a really nasty timing on this flank. Good kill from Showtime, and now all of a sudden, this gets very, very dangerous. If they can just hold on to this B bomb site for just a couple seconds, reinforcements are going to be here. Great damage down to Cbble. The frag found onto Seb, and there they all go. And Luminosity in firm control. A 4-on-1. Wardell would have to do something special here. The flank coming in that he hasn't even spotted out yet. But likely knows it's a possibility. There it is. Luminosity grab it right back.
Yeah, back in the lead indeed. Luminosity. They definitely feeling the pressure now, something they haven't had to feel in quite some time, it feels like. Going to be sending one man out through mid, that's Yell. There are 3 players there. No utility to force him back. No needs to rein in early on. Yell's in danger of getting caught out, though. He has to be wary. No one here to trade him. Showtime now rotating on in, and first man crosses. Yell just smokes it off. That's going to give up control of mid and now give them a ways in through long.
PKL's gonna, he's gonna go down. I thought he would be farming up some kills. I thought he'd be, you know, building up that scoreline. Actually, they're all blind. They're all falling to just these pistols. Both teams struggling to really hold on to any kind of momentum and keep any kind of streak of rounds going in their favor. And it looks like Luminosity is going to be on the back foot again. Both of these teams just trading back and forth. And this has become a bit of a nightmare for Luminosity. They might just want to choose to save these 2 rifles. They'll have nothing in the next round. Ghost keeping this close.
Yeah, this is a completely different Ghost to what we saw over on Train, and almost a different Luminosity as well. 10 to 10, all tied up. This is a very, very close affair, much closer than I think that we initially thought. And now for Luminosity, 2 players saving. Do you go for the buy here, or do you go for the eco? Do you let Ghost take the lead, or do you gamble that you can win it out with a pretty weak buy? And that's probably what the decision is going to be during this time. Now, the timeouts from Ghost, so they're going to try and figure out how they want to play this. Make sure everyone's on the same page. They know the importance of this round.
It's a tough call at this stage in the game, because if you just make one wrong decision, one like overly aggressive decision with the economy, all of a sudden you can lose the whole map. And for Luminosity, after winning so handily on Train, this has got to be somewhat of a shock that they're playing such a close game, especially nerve-wracking due to the playoff implications that it has. So this isn't the best time for them to have to worry about this kind of thing.
Plus, I mean, if you recall, one of the reasons I said the Ghost might lose this is that they rhyme with toast. But if you really want to break it down, they also rhyme with a lot of other things, Jason. You know, like roast. That's always a delicious meal.
Yes. You
Or
Brits do like your Sunday roasts.
Maybe post.
Okay.
An outdated method of communication that not many people use anymore. There's a lot of things that Ghost rhymes with, and
rhyming is a
not so much.
phenomenal thing, isn't it, Harry?
Yeah, I do love some poetry, mate. I don't want to brag, but you know, I entered a couple of poetry competitions in my time, Jason. Oh, look at this from Neckers. He's been able to tag up one, almost a second. VSEP, within inches of his life in that smoke, 15 HP. He's counting his lucky stars that he's still alive. And now Yell aggressive out through mid. CZ in hand, trying to take command. Pushes on forward.
Look at the positioning of Seb, though. This is unreal. Even though the kills are going in the way of Luminosity at the moment, he can actually turn this all around. Now it's just PKL at this bomb site, and the rest of his teammates are so low, and I think that just did it. It was all looking so good for Luminosity, but there's no one left to defend the A bomb site, and I don't think these two have the resources or the HP to get back in position to stop this from happening. And indeed, both kills go the way of Seb, and Ghost take the lead one more time, and that does it. That completely shatters the economy from Luminosity. They're gonna have to take a step back, allow one round to go towards Ghost, let them get up towards 12, and try and fight back from there. And even then, I'm not even sure they're gonna have a great amount of money to be able to have everything they might need.
I mean, this is fantastic if you're a Ghost Gaming fan. Here's Wardell. Was hoping he was going to make some more money there, but he does get tagged away. And instead, he's opened it up for Stanley to now do damage. Wardell and Stan mopping up these players inside the site. Suddenly, it's just Yell left alive, and he's 1v5. So, not in a position to thrive. Sabros is going to win that fight. Ghost Gaming up 12-10. And yeah, I mean, the buy here isn't great, Jason. It's pretty decent, but no kits, you'll notice. Just utility, and I think Cbble is one where you don't, if you don't have the full utility, I always think it's worth grabbing a kit because it's so much about that good utility usage and just kind of keeping them at the site for as long as you can. Letting that clock tick down. And when you look at it, Ghost, they've got the bomb down in a lot of these rounds. Surprised, how's he kept this going for so long on someone's head? Wardell opens up with a Mac 10. 2 kills immediately go the way of Ghost. You can't afford to lose those duels if you're Luminosity. No kit. Means that these 3 players have to very, very quickly try and get back into the site and stop this bomb from going down. This is where the flank is made that much more deadly. It's PKL left 1v2, and he's not ready for Seb in the back line. It's Visa to find him regardless. 13-10 now in favor of Ghost, and once again, there's no money left for Luminosity.
Yeah, they're gonna have to take a timeout now to talk things over. I don't even think they can full invest. I think they have to half invest here with the armor and some pistols and maybe a little bit of utility. And you see if you can pull something out. You have done it before in this half, so you just see if you can get lucky. Other than that, you're saving your money for the next buy round, and then you're trying to close the gap there, win 3-4 straight. and just hope you can kind of do it right at the end. You gotta be really confident in your CT side to do it, and they did get some praise for their defensive side from you know, the analysts. Talking things over. Here we go, 10-13. CZ's Deagles on board for Luminosity.
Oh, Neckers and PKL in with two between them. Neckers will be dealt with 3-on-3. This bombsite has come crumbling down.
Yes, it has. Wardell with the AWP. Gonna hold off this retake, and Seb is actually in a really nice position. Yeah, there's no chance of Luminosity coming back, and there's plenty of time in the bomb timer. Just nothing they can really do to make happen. There's the final kill. 14-10 as Ghost gets closer and closer to victory. Here comes the last really strong buy that Luminosity is gonna have. They just simply must win here and must rattle off 4 or 5 in a row.
I mean, let's not forget, this is a very, very big game for Luminosity. If they were able to get a 2-0 here, that would actually move them up into that playoff kind of zone. They would be one of the teams in the top 6, which, you know, in the closing week is such a big deal. So this is one of the most important games for them to win out. And it was a 16-3 victory on Train. It now turned 14-10 in favor of Ghost here. Cobble Stanley on the entry. He's going to fall at the hands of PKL. Neckers does chime in with one more out to Seb. Wardell doesn't spot the man up on tree. And PKL to finish him off from afar. Now Visa's been able to get himself one. 2 players watching for Cbble, but that Molotov forces them forward. Cbble gets one and a second as well. That's massive. Now the bomb can go down, and suddenly Ghost are back into this round. This was a 5-on-2 gone horribly wrong. It's this flank from Showtime that makes or breaks this round. Timing is everything, and Visa just going to get off the angle. Perhaps at just the wrong time. The Molotov forces Showtime forward, and Visa's found him. Now it's just Yell. 1v2. How has this round gone so incredibly wrong for Luminosity? It was a 5-on-2. And now all their hopes and dreams fall onto the back of Yell. They talk about him a lot on the desk. He's been one of the highlight players for Luminosity. They need him to step up now more than ever, and Cbble is going to go ahead and finish him off. 3 kills for him in that round, 2 for Visa, as they clutch at an essential 2v5 to keep the dream alive for Ghost. 15-10. 1 round away from winning this out on Cobblestone.
Not a whole lot for Luminosity to fight with. 3 UMPs, a FAMAS, an M4. Only 1 kit. Plenty of utility, but Ghost has 5 rounds to toy with, and they can really kind of win it a couple different ways. Grinding down the money would be a possibility as well down the stretch. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to take this start to this round cautiously. Not wanting to get caught off guard.
Oh, here's Wardell on the entry. Showtime's able to get himself 1. Yell tries to trade back, but no, the trades go even. 3-on-3. Now they lose steal over and drop this round. Might be saved there by that play from Neckers, as he does manage to trade onto Seb. Cbble and Stanley. Cbble in the previous round helped out in that 2 versus 5. He gets the majority of the kills there and locks in that important match point round, but this time he is going to fall. It's all onto Stanley, the boy from Britain, playing in the strange world that is North America. And there we go, he's pulled it back into a 1-on-1. And it's this for the win on Cobble. It was a 16-3 loss. And now they look to recover from, but Luminosity, they keep the dream alive, 11-15. They want to try and pull this back to OT here on Cobblestone.
Oh, that was just so close. Luminosity's able to pull it out in the end, though. 11-15, they've got to win a couple more. But, I mean, looking at the money, backs against the wall, they've really at that point where they need to survive very cleanly. They need to have 4 or 5 players survive around if they want to be able to last towards the end. So, Ghost with plenty of chances still. Molotov going to be out. And again, slow-paced from Ghost. Initial utility toss. Sub-Rosa going to peek out towards this B platform. We do have Steel and Nekis both playing right at the top of the stairs, almost like they want to get aggressive and maybe take control of that for themselves, but it's Steel who eats some nade damage. And then kind of backs away. Drop zone is controlled by Ghost. A lot of different ways they can manipulate this, and this is some old school style. Pick into that B bomb site with the AWP. Steel can't move. He's pinned down, and he doesn't know it, but at a certain point, you just realize when you play that spot, you have to just be patient.
PKL's to win these fights. First man comes his way. That's Sabrosa. PKL topples him. Yal's going to be in with one more into Stanley. 3 on 5, but we've seen Luminosity throw away bigger man advantages. PKL does fall short, but he's tagged up Seb. Seb within inches of his life. Beck is allowed to survive as the Molotov doesn't quite spread out, and now Steel emerges. It's all onto Wardell. 1v4. He does manage to open up with the first to Steel. There's only 15 seconds. There should be no way from back into this round. And there we go, finished off 12-15. 3 rounds between Luminosity and Ghost. There is money for Ghost to buy. They will be able to scrape one together once again.
Yeah, but that one hurts because now Luminosity, 3 players live. They can look at, they now have Molotovs, they now have smokes, they now have kits. There's tools on this Luminosity side that they can use to increase the likelihood of winning it, while before they were really running out of that early on in these rounds. Wonder how fast-paced we're going to see Ghost be in this round. Faster than previous. But still being very, very cautious. Stanley leading the way with the CZ. He's going to take a little bit of damage. Not that big of a deal at the moment. It looks like they might just want to blow up right through this smoke. At least peering over the top of it for the moment. And they're very lucky they haven't been picked off by Yell yet. He's sitting inside the bomb site, peering down the ramp with the AWP. And Showtime close up. One misstep. Just like that. Yell with a nice recovery shot. Now PKL is here to help him out, but the bomb site is being pressured. Stanley gonna push up. He needs to find some impact, but not able to do it just yet. A 3-on-4. Wardell hasn't been able to spot anyone. No one's peeking, but actually, this playdown drop by Seb could open up the B bomb site. This could change everything if he's able to make an attack.
Yeah, he let the first man cross in the form of Steel, and so Steel's not ready for this whatsoever. There's Seb to find him. That's B cracked wide open. Seb has done it. He's locked down a site all on his lonesome. They're going to start to rotate back around, and now he just has to hold off this offensive from Luminosity long enough for his teammates to get here. 20 seconds, that bomb has to cross. If they win this fight, now things get dicey for Ghost. They have to try and get the bomb across. There's only 15 seconds left, and Visa, while he manages one, it comes down to a one-on-one. Wardell versus Nekis, and Wardell's going to go hunting for the kill. The smoke's down. He, once again, gets this bomb down, and Nekis back to back. Wardell lands the no-scope, and there we go. Ghost Gaming, they get it done. They win out this second map, and they're going to split the series 1-on-1.
That's got to hurt for Luminosity, though, as their playoff chances down the stretch dwindling just a little bit there with that victory. And nice job from Wardell winning out of that 1-2. Holding the nerve, holding the plant, hitting the no-scope, just the way Daddy likes it. Either way, that's day 1 of this final week, Trace.
Just the way Daddy likes it. Would you care to elaborate, Jason?
I could, but it's not fit for camera.
Okay. Perhaps afterwards when we get back to the hotel, but that's not fit for camera.
I can show you there.
All right.
And that will be it from Moses of the day.
And that was the last time anyone heard from Moses across any of the broadcasts today. Let's go ahead and try to make some sense of how on earth Ghosts are able to turn this one around. Halvor, take it away.
I mean, I'm a bit baffled myself. Again, Luminosity had every recipe, or everything in the writing for them to be successful here. They won both pistols. They're playing Cobblestone.
Yeah.
They got off to a good start on both sides.
Yeah.
It wasn't the fact of it wasn't a matter of them winning pistol, losing the first night at Eco, that kind of thing. It's just everything worked initially. Yeah, it's just really, really strange. I guess, got to give credit where credit is due in that sense. The fact that Ghosts were actually able to, at first, obviously, muster up a bit of a defense on the CT side. They didn't let the game get too out of control on the T side, and eventually actually managed to salvage it into a winning CT side, which is not something you see too often. I think that in itself might have taken a bit of the wind out of the sails out of Luminosity at that point. And even when we get over to the T side, you see just a very solid Ghost in terms of their approach. Again, much similar to what Luminosity did on their T side. Again, it's focused around drop room and so on to get initial control. And it works. Like, if your opponents don't know how to stop it, there's no reason for you to go away from it.
Why try to fix something
if it ain't broke?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know how many times I've reinvented the wheel just to find out I didn't need to in the first place. It's ridiculous. Almost as ridiculous as the playoff race, because this has heated up. And, of course, today's results are very important in terms of going forward in the future. You're going to see here very quickly. Walk me through it, Pep.
So Rogue splitting map versus Renegades killed the Rogue's last chance of qualifying. They needed a 2-0. They are hanging in there tight now. Optic winning 2-0 against Dignitas. Kind of surprising in terms of Optic, playing with 2 European guys or 3 European guys from Europe.
Speaking of a European guy from Europe, how about a guy from the island of the UK, known as Stanley, with a 4K for a play of the day here for ESL Pro League. Let's take a look at this.
Pretty nice. Getting 2 frags right here and then getting a 3rd frag. You barely see him right there. Don't really know, shooting him through the bricks and then getting the 4th kill as well. Nice play, and he started that CT side, as you said. They ended up winning the CT side, so he kickstarted that one with that 4K. So well played to him.
Boom! The standings are upon us. NA standings are in as of this moment. Of course, Optic Gaming have secured their position in the Pro League Finals in Dallas, alongside Team Liquid and Energy. And Dignitas have secured that they will not be going to Dallas, nor anything even remotely close to it. Pimp, comments?
They're going south.
They were close of making it, not having a -100 rounds, but they didn't make it.
That's just not the story of what happened. Let's take a look at tomorrow's matches. You'll see Liquid Complexity, Renegades, and Dignitas. Yeah. Followed by a little bit of Rogue and Cloud9.
We can see Renegades qualifying for the finals tomorrow, as well as Cloud9 maybe consolidating their spot at the finals tomorrow. So definitely a lot to look forward to tomorrow. We get most likely 2 more playoff spots secure.
What about the results in EU? And we're just going to kind of go through this briefly to catch you up, the viewer at home, the ones that are eagerly waiting to hear this news about the games that were played earlier. We got a little bit of heroic envious action early on in the day, splitting maps, as well as Mouse Sports and Space Soldiers. And then a shocking one there is AGO 16-14 over Fnatic. I'd say shocking like I did, but then I realized, like, this is CS, and of course anything is possible at this point, right?
It does actually mess with Fnatic's small chances of getting that 7th spot, though. I mean, they were already in a pretty rough situation. I guess they're out of relegation in that sense, so that's a good thing, and it does help HGO in their battle to stay alive. But yeah, that 7th spot, looking further and further away for Fnatic.
How about these standings as we look into what should be tomorrow's matches? Boom, there we go. Had a little bit of interference there. Something about the Wi-Fi and then the radars and satellites coming down. It's just, global warming and then the clouds and whatnot. Anyway, you see what matches we have. Match day number 20. The end is upon us. Envious Astralis, Nodus Vincere, and Fnatic, and concluded with a little bit of Hellraisers action, huh?
Yeah, Hellraisers LDLC.
Still have a chance of qualifying Hellraisers, so can they pick that one up 2-0, which is more than likely against LDLC, who hasn't been looking too good in the European season? Then there's still a chance of them stealing away North, 7th spot currently for the playoffs.
Yeah, should be playoff race is just intensifying everywhere, really. It doesn't matter what region. Point
being, don't miss any matches. It's going to be 2 tenths, right, Trace?
Yep. Yeah, man. Right there on the edge of the seat.
That's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Edge of the seat.
I think you guys are on the edge of ending the broadcast, but I'm thinking that perhaps we stick around. We go, okay, no, that's fine. I can just see by the looks in their eyes. That was a very disapproving look. That does it for us at the Xfinity Analyst Desk for the day here for ESL Pro League in a match day number 19, I do believe it is. Either way, we'll be back tomorrow at the same great time, the same great place to bring you all of the action from the Intel Esports Arena. So long and good night.